Isang magandang araw po sa inyong lahat and dito po sa Advanced Health Seminar or sa Health Seminar ay naglagay po tayo ng mga panibagong lesson. Yung kahapon ay review, and today we have this lesson. This is lesson number 3, kung ating pagtitingnan at susumahin. So, ang mga file name po nito, pagka gusto nyo humingi, there is L1, L2, and this one is L3, para ma-review po natin at magamit natin sa pagtuturo sa midweek service or kahit sa Friday or kahit po sa ating mga seminars, para po sa mga leaders. Okay, so intro to naturopathy. Okay, last time we have an intro lesson as L2. Now we have a lesson as main lesson L3. Okay, so history to naturopathy. Naturopathy or nature cure is a method of healing that employs various natural means to empower an individual to achieve the highest possible level of health. Although the term naturopathic medicine was not used until the late 19th century, its philosophical roots go back thousands of years ago. No? History to naturopathy. Naturopathy always draws on the healing wisdom of many countries, including India as Ayurveda, China in Taoism, and Greece through Hippocrates. The European tradition of taking the cure at natural springs or spas was gained a foothold in America by the middle of the 18th century, making the United States receptive to the ideas of naturopathy. So, among the movement's earliest promoters were Father Sebastian Niep, a priest who credited his recovery from tuberculosis to bathing in the Danube, and Benedict Last. Now, this person, Benedict Last, is one of those who have been with Dr. Niep, a physician who trained at the water cure clinic that Niep founded in Europe. Last arrived in the US in the 1890s and began using the term naturopathy to describe an eclectic combination of natural healing doctrines or healing methods. Okay, so in 1902, Last founded the first U.S. College of Naturopathic Medicine in New York City. It taught a system of what was then known about nutritional therapy, natural diet, herbal medicine, homeopathy, spinal manipulation, exercise therapy, and hydrotherapy, electrotherapy, stress reduction, and other natural therapies. So there is no single approach. Why? Kasi for example, sa hydrotherapy, ang involved po dyan ay tubig, So pwede yung kulema, nakasama dyan, Yung mga labatiba, okay? Pero sa electrotherapy, mga nerve naman ang mas natututukan. So may kanya-kanyang forte yan. The natural system for curing disease is based on a return to nature in regulating the diet, breathing, exercising, bathing, and the employment of various forces to eliminate the poisonous product in the system, and so raise the vitality of the patient to a proper standard of health. There is this old paradigm of healing or yung lumang kaisipan that the body is a machine, There are parts, there are working parts together, and you put gasoline, this will run, okay? The body and mind are separate. So, there's no such thing as mind connected to the body sa pagkaasakit, Yung isip ka ng isip, hindi nila tinitingnan yan. Emphasize the elimination of disease. The focus is in how to get rid of the disease through surgery or whatever means. Treat the symptoms, If there is lagnat or fever, you will give analgesics. Use high technology. Focus on objective information like charts, statistics, and test results. But that is good, And then number 7, the physician should be emotionally neutral and detached. The physician should not, get involved with the patients and his or her life. The physician is the all-knowing authority. The physician is in the central of the patient's health conditions. But there is a new paradigm or new thinking about the healing process. Number 1, we address the whole patient, his mind, what he eats, where he goes, and his relationships. The body and the mind are interconnected. What he thinks is what he is. Emphasize achieving good health, not only to the eradication of diseases, treat underlying causes, not only the symptoms like fever, but what is the cause of the fever. And the fever is just a it help us, no, to uh diagnose or to know there is a problem, but there is an underlying cause. Take an integrated approach. When we say integrated approach, we mix things together, no? Like food, diet, and the medicine, okay? Focus on diet, lifestyle, and preventive measure because it is more cost effective. The focus on subjective information, how the patient is feeling, is more important, not on charts and everything. Because, there are cancer patients who are, pag pinag-aralan nyo, pag sinabihan na ng doktor na wala ng pag-asa, mabilis na silang manghina, no? So in this number 7, if we focus on point 7, ang ating din pong gusto sabihin sa pasyente is ano ang kanyang mga nararamdaman. Okay, and the physician's caring and empathy are critical to healing. How we pray for them, how we touch them with our hands, and how we embrace them is very good as part of healing. How we make jokes, good jokes for him or her, ay nakakatulong po yun. Ano? The physician is a partner in the healing process. The patient is in charge of healthcare choices. So, the patient is still in control kung ano ang gagawin sa kanya, no? Okay. So, now we go to the history of iridology. Dr. Ignaz von Fexeli Egervar, Budapest, Hungary, discovered nature's record in the eye by accident when he's only 10 years old. While playing with an owl, he happened to break one of the iris of the bird, and later found out that the darkened area corresponded to the location of the broken leg. Eventually, this black streak became a tiny black spot around where white lines and shading. This incident made a lasting impression upon the mind of the future doctor. And when working later in the college hospital and in surgical wards, he had a good opportunity to observe the eyes of patients, accidents, and before and after operations. In this manner, he was enabled to construct the first chart of the iris. He did not follow up the relations suggested by the changes in the iris of the owl until about 1861 he was treating his very sick mother. At the age of 36, he became interested in medicine and studied first in Budapest in 1862. In 1866, he started practicing in Budapest and published his first book on the iris discovery in the realm of nature and art of healing. So, ibig sabihin ang mga hayop po ay pwede rin nating malaman na sakit nila, no? Through iridology. Yung paborito natin pet dog, no? Pwede yan. So, i-compare natin doon sa iris chart, no? Tignan natin para mapakain natin siya. Usually, ang mga kagabi may pasyente kaming aso, pero kung niya tao dapat kami. Pero sabi namin, yun nga, kasi yung mga imported na aso, dumating sa point in time na bumababa ang kanilang red blood cells at saka yung ilang mga components pa sa dugo, no? Ano po yun eh, humihina po kasi ang kanilang kidney, no? Liver at maaaring meron pong form of malnutrition, no? Lalo kung ano lang ang pagkain, dog food for the rest of their life. Napapansin ko po yan eh, no? Pagka yung mga aso ng mga kapatid ko, dog food forever, yun na nga ang end, no? Kaya talagang kailangan natin balikan kung ano ang kinakain at lifestyle, ano? Niels Liljeqvist, a Swedish homeopath, discovered and improved many of the methods of iris diagnosis and brought this work to America. History of Iridology, ulit tayo, no? His writings were translated into volumes called Diagnosis from the Eye. He also discovered the effects of quinine and iodine that appeared in the eye. Ano po? Mapapag-aralan natin yan. So, Henry Edward Lane yan. Titingnan natin sino yung mga sikat sa iridology. Nawa, maturo na natin ito. No? Kasi matagal na tayong paulit-ulit sa ating discussion. Okay? So, advance dapat ang Friday. Yung sa midweek, eto. No? Yan. Okay? So, Henry Edward Lane, a native of Australia, taught iridology. He wrote his book known as Iridology, the Diagnosis from the Eye. Dr. Henry Lindlar. Okay, Dr. Henry Lindlar. He is from Chicago. He applied iridology in his natural therapeutics. He wrote a book known as Iris Diagnosis. Okay. Peter Johannes Schell. He is from Germany. He is known as the great iridologist. Okay. And then, Dr. J. Haskell Pritzker, who wrote the book Iris Diagnosis and Guide in Treatment. Dr. Mars J. Petinac and Dr. F. W. Collins contributed the chart in iridology. Dr. R. M. McLean, he is from Oakland, California. He devoted himself in teaching iridology for many years. Dr. Bernard Jensen, ito, no? The father of American iridology. He formulated the American iridology chart. This is the most improved, ano? Dr. Elizabeth Acosta Micaler started teaching iridology in the Philippines in 1982, no? In order to determine abnormalities in the body and to make use of the iris findings, there is a definite philosophy which must be understood and applied. In order to understand the science of iridology, it is necessary to be in accord with the philosophy that goes with it. What more need the doctor know than the location of the information in the body? The stage it is in, how it arrived there, how to free the body of it, and most of all, when do you have the opportunity to free it, okay? So, sa madaling salita, malalaman mo ang location, malalaman mo kung namamaga, at anong stage, kung hindi lang pamamaga, anong stage na ang pagkasira ng organ, at paano natin lilinisin ng katawan, tutulungan ng katawan mag-heal sa sarili niya, para makita natin kung naging malaya na ang tao doon sa mahinang pagkakataon na yon. Okay. So this is now the bottom line of what we are studying, the philosophical phase of iridology. The person who believes sulfa drugs will cure a disease would be likely to disregard the significance of the alterations which be recorded in the iris as a result of administration of these drugs. Okay, a workable philosophy will help us to understand that the eyes are the windows of the soul. The eyes is the windows of the soul. Truly, they bear witness to the workings and conditions of every organs of the body. To know this science completely will be impossible. The honest iridologist realizes that the more truth is recorded in the eyes, that the more that he is capable of analyzing, the more we see many things in the eyes, the more na parang mag-iisip pa tayo, ano pa ang meron, Sa totoo lang po, makakita kayo ng maraming spot, pero ang tanong na kasunod ay, bakit dumami? Ano po? Sino ang organ na nagsimula? Okay? When we see evidence in the eyes of improved conditions, we are reminded of the quotation from the Bible that the light of the body is the eye. If therefore thine eye be single, thy whole body shall be full of light. But if thine eye be evil, thy whole body shall be full of darkness. The perfect eye shows no flaws, no holes, no inherent weakness, no distortion of fibers, no deposit, and is a perfect color, either blue or brown. Nasa Bible po, may liwanag ang mata. Yung matang maraming dilim yan, yung mga spot, The ordinary diagnostician, not knowing what the appearance of the perfect eye, would be unable to understand and probably unwilling to believe that any variation from this perfection is a sign of lowered function, condition of disease, or disharmony. One who analyzes from the standpoint of the cause and effect relations in natural law will be able not only to recognize the disorders which are represented in the iris, but will recognize the progress of correction and will observe and follow the healing signs as they become manifest in the iris. This person will be aware that the sound philosophy is connected with the science of iridology. Sa madaling salita po, kailangan alam na alam natin yung itsura ng mata, Kung hindi po ay hindi natin malalaman kung gumagaling ba ang ating pasyente, Doctors employing natural methods of healing know that health is affected by habitual diet and that the body must live by what it gets through its environment. Man molds himself in accordance with whatever he feeds his body, the solids and liquids taken into his stomach by the air that comes. Some of the lines may be represented in the low part of the dark pigment underneath is shown. This signifies weak tissue structure and inherent weakness in that particular area. So may mga fiber po ang mata, no, na pagka bumuka yun, ibig sabihin natutuyo siya, ay makikita mo ang mas malalim na part ng mata. No, ang tawag po dito ay pagkakasakit, no, ng mata. No, until mag-itim ng todo at lumaki, ay, ito po ay degeneration na, no, hindi lang acute or chronic ah, level. So, when nerve fibers are pulling up or going together in any one spot, we refer to them as cramp rings. No? Pag nagdidikit-dikit, cramp rings. The outside rim of the iris in any one organ area may be very dark, showing that the skin covering that area is very inactive and that toxic material has settled there. So, pag dark yun, ibig sabihin yung nerve na connected doon sa skin ng organ ay mayroong problema. No? Yung organ. Uneliminated fatigue acids and uric acid may have settled there. The signs of this acid may appear in the varying shades from the white of the iris of these acids may appear in the varying shades from the white of the acute to the of the chronic. Okay, so yung acidity, no, ay nakaka-epekto dun sa shading. So pagka lighter to darker, it is become chronic, no? By these signs, we determine how acute is the inflammation, where the inflammation is, and we can watch it increase or disappear according to the person's living habits. No? Makikita natin kung naglalight na yung dark. Ano? The accompanying diagram illustrates this condition, and the explanation under it gives you a philosophy to follow regarding the relationship of the iris to the rest of the body. We know that all we do is recorded in the mind, and also that the mind has records of every disease, habit, etc. These are reflected directly to the nervous system, to the iris of the eye. Ang ganda, no? Lahat ng sakit, lahat ng nangyayari sa katawan ay nare-record sa isip at nagre-reflect sa mata, no? So, iris is, itong iridology is about the iris, the pigmented, yung round, yung bilog. Okay, the round contractile membrane of the eye, situated between the cornea and lens and perforated by the pupil. It is the portion of the eye that carries the color. Okay? So what is iridology? Iridology is the science and practice that reveals inflammation, where located, and in what stage it is manifesting. It reveals body constitution, inherent weaknesses, levels of health, and the transitions that take place in a person's body according to the way he lives. So it is also the science of analyzing the delicate structures of the iris of the eye. So eto na, no? Bale, hindi po natin tutuloy kasi napakahaba po nito. This is 123 slides. So it will be the next week. No? Ito na yung strong constitution. No? Tingnan niyo po, observe. Tight, even distributed trabeculae or iris fibers. Trabeculae. No? Ano yung trabeculae? Ayan, yung guhit po pag ganito papalabas. No? Very tight po. Yan, dikit-dikit lang na nakaparallel sa isa't isa. Yan, okay. At yung color niya, it's blue kasi blue yung mata talaga nito, no? So, walang parang naghahalo, no? O pumuputla. Ang tawag po dyan ay strong or uh, ang tawag po rito sa mata na ito is strong constitution. Yan. Meron kasing weak constitution. So, dalawa. Pagdating sa kulay at saka sa distribution of fibers ay strong and weak, no? Pag nakita nyo parang mayroong bumubuka, yun po yung weak, no? Strong and vital genetic heritage, a body able to resist illness and disease recovers quickly. Ay napakaganda po sa naturopathy. Alam mo kung kayang lumaban ng katawan. Kasi sa iba, hindi yan na ituturo, no? So, dito naman, ayan, mayroong mga parang bumuka, no? Daisy petal. Dito po tayo magtatapos para ma-appreciate nyo na, no? So, dito po, makikita nyo yung weak constitution or daisy petal. Eye, open spaces, and separated trabecular, no? So, ito, yung guhit niya, ito, yung business trait, umuluntoy, no? At merong nagko-close na ganyan, may mga daisy petals, no? So, this body, nakita kayo ng ganyang mata, na meron pang silip po, no, ng eyes talaga natin. Poor genetic heritage. Mahina yung kanyang genetics, no? Body tissues are weak, likelihood of illness or disease increased when body is abused, slow to recover and heal. Pag ganyan na po ang mata mo at naabuso pa, ay naku po, no? Kaya ingat po tayo. So, ito na po, nadaanan na natin kahapon as review yung mga ating diagnostic patterns sa skin, sa dila, ano po. Then later on, sisingit natin yung sa puso as a review. And then, we now go to naturopathy, lesson 1 yon and 2. And now this is the main of naturopathy and iridology. So, nawa po, lesson 1, 2, 3 na po ito. Nawa may kopya po kayo sa inyo pong mga GC. Ano po, para magamit po natin. So, maraming salamat po. Nawa, makatulong po ito. Panginoon, salamat po. Nawa nga po maging blessing ang aming mga inaaral. Maging pagpapala. Marami pong salamat sa pangalan ni Jesus. Amen. Hanggang sa muli po. Papuri po sa Panginoon.